Good evening. This is the Guyana Learning Channel's news in capsule for Monday, August 23, 2021. In the headlines, schools expected to reopen with individualized plan. Region 6 farmers get close to $1 billion in flood relief. In the world of sports, Puran appointed captain of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. In the region, Sandra Mason to become first president of Barbados. And internationally, Pfizer gets FDA's full approval. With the news in detail, I am Dinelli Singh. The Ministry of Education is currently putting together a plan to guide the moving forward of the physical reopening of schools, which will be based on individualized plans and will be up to the schools to decide whether they will reopen fully or whether it would do a rotation system for the students. With students currently out on their August vacation, schools are scheduled to reopen to virtual learning from September 6. However, the ministry has not yet announced definitely on the physical reopening of schools for face-to-face learning. Minister of Education Priya Manik-Chan noted that her ministry is currently gathering data and is expected to make an official announcement shortly. Moreover, Minister Manik-Chan explained that reopening of schools for physical learning may look differently in each region. The minister noted that the ministry is also looking at how to deal with assessing students and mitigating learning loss that would have been caused by the physical closure of schools for over a year. In May of this year, Minister Manik-Chan had first announced in a video address that the ministry was considering the physical reopening of schools this September. The minister had noted that the decision was taken based on the fact that though there has been no cure for the deadly COVID-19 virus, the vaccines have proven to be effective enough to guard against serious symptoms and, more importantly, death. Guyana is also set to procure a supply of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, which has been approved for use by children from ages 12 years and older. This will be done with the consent of parents, and the ministry has begun issuing consent forms over the past few weeks with favorable responses. This was extracted and modified from the Guyana Chronicle. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa on Sunday spearheaded the distribution of the government's flood relief cash grants at several locations in East Berbice. Addressing beneficiaries at Les Beholden, Yakusari, Johanna, and Mibikuri, Minister Mustafa said the government will continue to make investments in the agriculture sector and, more importantly, in the citizens. Minister Mustafa said the grant is not a compensation for the losses farmers faced during the floods, but an investment made by the government to ensure that they are able to resume farming as quickly as possible. The Agriculture Minister noted that the grants are being distributed in a non-discriminatory way. He outlined several measures which are aimed at putting back billions of dollars into the pockets of ordinary Guyanese. Among those are the Because We Care cash grant, which saw every child in the public school system benefiting from $19,000, and the COVID-19 $25,000 cash grant. Meanwhile, the minister reassured farmers whose names were not on the list to receive their checks on Sunday that special effort will be made to ensure that they are able to receive their grants within a week or two. And now for sports news. The Guyana Amazon Warrior has appointed Nicholas Puran as captain of the 2021 Hero Caribbean Premier League CPL season, which gets underway on August 26 at Warner Park, St. Kitts. Puran has been a part of the Amazon Warrior since 2018, scoring 437 runs at an average of 31.21. Puran is also an integral part of the West Indies white ball teams and made his international captaincy debut in the series against Australia in July this year, which was won 4-1 by West Indies. This was extracted from iNews. And now for news in the region. Governor General Dame Sandra Mason has been nominated to be the first president as Barbados moves to become a republic by November 30. In addition, Barbadians have been given the assurance that there will be no change to the country's name, flag, pledge, or the name of Independence Day. This was outlined by Prime Minister Mia Mottley during an address to the nation on Saturday. Mottley explained that between now and November, it was the government's intention to put a Bajan as the country's head of state, and Dame Sandra was the person nominated and has consented to the nomination. She said Dame Sandra's nomination would now be subject to vote of members of Parliament in the House of Assembly and the Senate. The Prime Minister further outlined that the government was also seeking to determine through a charter what were promises and pledges that would be made to each other. This was extracted and modified from Loop News Caribbean. And now for international news. The Food and Drug Administration on Monday granted full approval to Pfizer and BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, becoming the first in the US to win the coveted designation and giving even more businesses, schools, and universities greater confidence to adapt a vaccine mandate. Up until now, the mRNA vaccine, which will be marketed as Comirnaty, was on the US market under an emergency use authorization that was granted by the FDA in December. Since then, more than 204 million of the Pfizer shots have been administered, according to data compiled by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Federal health officials had been under monitoring pressure from the scientific community and advocacy groups to fully approve Pfizer and BioNTech's vaccine ever since the drug makers submitted their application to the agency in early May. The companies submitted a biologics license application, which secures full approval to the FDA on May 7 for patients ages 16 and up. FDA scientists evaluated hundreds of thousands of pages of vaccine data from 40,000 trial participants. According to the US agency, the vaccine was found to be 91% effective in preventing COVID, slightly lowering the 95% efficiency rate trial data showed when the shot was authorized late last year and before the Delta variant took hold in the US. Pfizer's vaccine met the agency's high standards for safety, effectiveness, and manufacturing quality, acting FDA Commissioner Janet Woodcock said in a statement. This was extracted and modified from CNBC News. With that, we've reached the end of today's broadcast. Be sure to join us again right here tomorrow on the Guyana Learning Channel for more educational news and updates. On behalf of the technical team, thanks for watching, and remember to protect yourself and the people you love. Get vaccinated today.